Hey friends, this is probably a new angle that you haven't seen yet. I am in my office where I've got a break between sessions, and I wanted to do a little bit of clarification around what I'm thinking and feeling about the bus these days, because there's a lot. That's gray hair. Okay. There's a lot of thoughts and feelings about this whole thing. And one of the types of therapy that I practice is Sandtray therapy. And I have a whole Sandtray setup, and I'll show you in a minute. But I'm going to do what's called cleaning off my own mirror. So as a therapist who does this with others, it's a great practice for me to do this for myself once in a while. So I'm going to walk you through it. And I am a highly sensitive person, if it has not been made clear by now, which means that I think and feel very deeply, and it can get a bit intense sometimes. So we're going to dive deep, but if you're willing to come along, you're more than welcome to come with me on this journey. So I will flip the camera around now. Okay, and here is my Sandtray miniature collection. Some people would say it's too much, some people would say it's not enough. Me, I say there's always more things that I could use in here, symbols wise. But for now, it's just right. There are a million different things that each of these symbols could represent to anyone. So what I did was I grabbed a little basket and I filled it up with some of the miniatures that spoke to me about this bus building conversion project. And I'll set those in the sand tray here in just a moment. And I grabbed my basket of fences and trees, and then I'm gonna set it all up and I will explain what it means to me. Okay. So I'm gonna walk you through what I was thinking while I was working on this tray, right? And I guess I have them kind of categorized by a few different things. One, like this is the vision, like in this area. These are the things that I'm worried about, or along those lines. These are the things I feel like I'll need. And these are the things that I need to keep in mind, or I want to keep in mind. All right. I guess I'll start back here. So I'm gonna need money, obviously. This is not a cheap project by any means. But I put more money over here because it feels like I need a ton of money to do everything right, quote unquote. But maybe I don't need as much as I think I do. I'm gonna need strength, definitely, and prolonged strength. Maybe, small periods of time where it's gonna feel heavier than others, and take a rest in between. I have a little die right here. Maybe I'll need a little bit of luck. I put a big die over here because I feel like I need a lot of luck, but maybe again not as much as I am worried that I do. The wise elders on Ye Old Wise YouTube, they are my gurus. And maybe I can, inspire somebody else sometime. But definitely any of my resources, people who have done this before. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I just have to find my rabbits and chase them. Like, find the people who are doing what I want to be doing, and as much as possible, figure out what they're doing right. Okay, let's hold over here. Here are the worries. Like I said, a lot of money, a lot of luck. This represents shopping, and like even in the process so far of like buying materials and buying tools, it really depends on decisions I'm making about the bus and what order, etc., etc. And I'm not sure that I'm making all the right decisions now in regards to what order to do things. So that's kind of a worry sometimes. What if I, miss a step? But I have to remind myself it's gonna be okay. People miss steps and they figure it out. These are kind of the critical, the inner critic voices. And there's somebody in particular whose voice I hear a lot in a very sarcastic way, in a very kind of a sneaky way. That person has a way to make you think that they only have your best interest at heart, dearie, but ultimately not true. So I gave a little bit of a muffled, like a noise canceling headphones, like, you know what, you don't need to have such a loud voice. And that's kind of what the trombone represents too, is like a little piss parade. I'm gonna piss on your parade and be real loud about it. And that's also why I have the fence, to keep all that stuff contained in a place where I can remind myself, you know what, I disagree. You can be there, you can have a voice, you can have inputs, but I don't agree. And I want to remember that. Onto the vision. Sunshine, we know, benefits, vitamin D. We as a species on this planet need sunshine, and we need plenty of oxygen, which the trees give off. And also there's this really cool thing called tree bathing, I think it's called, pretty sure, where like trees give off certain feel-good chemicals for us humans, and it's really supposed to be more symbiotic relationship and balance that we really don't get enough of in modern society. And the bird, of course, it's going to be so calming and so chill to hear the birds and the trees and the wind and all of that. I'm just looking to kind of harness some of that quality that is in nature to heal, feel better. That's what the glasses represent, the ability to see things more clearly. I think that speaks true of spending time in nature and in therapy. Let's see. Okay, the red fire truck is the bus right now because it's red, and providing heels on wheels. Lots of healing, lots of just good stuff. And okay, for the people who are more inclined to be indoors, I'm also thinking I'll have a little setup where we can, sometimes I watch like videos from other therapists or experts in the field with my clients, and we get to process after, like, hey, what parts do you feel like were true for you? Which didn't you resonate with so much? What do you think about this idea or that idea? So that way it's not all just coming from me, but that there's something about other people talking about these things too, having this, you know, great human experiment, just trying to figure it out. So technology won't be completely gone in the bus, but it's not going to be the focus. It'll be in a supportive role. The biggest part is going to be the outdoor, the nature, the fishing, possibly, a little pond, a couple of chairs, because it's going to be very much a dual thing. That's the whole point of therapy, is, you know, this is a relationship where the focus is on you and we're in this together for you. Love that. Because what happens is that, lucky me, I get to see the whole cycle. Gosh darn it. I need a bigger Sandtray, that's another thing. But anyway, you can see the whole growth cycle and just see people blossom and then eventually take off, live their lives, which is just beautiful. Stand in for maybe a little campfire, something like that. Who doesn't love a good s'more? S'mores? S'more. Whatever. Little grill there also, because that's the thing too, is I want to feed people's bodies and their spirits too. So we've got tea and at least one coffee for me. I like tea too, but coffee primarily. Lots of meditative stones representing just like wavelengths and energies, maybe chakras. Getting a little woo-woo. Meditation. There's two people here because as much as I am there with my clients, I also get to benefit from quiet, stillness, etc. And it really is something special about doing that kind of thing with someone. Like, it's great to do it alone also, but having what's called an empathetic witness while you're going through something like that, that neuroception of safety, it's just irreplaceable. Okay, so these are the things that I want to keep in mind. You know that saying, smooth seas never made a skillful sailor? Well, if I want to be a skillful sailor, which I do, I have to have some rough seas time to time. Goes along with that quote that I love about without struggle there is no progress. Focus. Oh golly, this one's been kind of a hard one for me because there's so much that I want to do, that I have ideas for. It really speaks to the novelty part of my brain of like, ooh, what about this? Or ooh, what about that? But this is going to require prolonged, sustained focus, so gotta keep that in mind. Okay, Bo Peep. She's fierce. She's a badass warrior in Toy Story 4, and people probably would have written her off as, oh, just this little lamp piece that lives in an antique store, but hell no, she's got her own army, for goodness sake. And I can acquire a lot of the same skills that she has. She figured it out, and I will too. And here is kind of an unmarked signpost, because I am not going to know in the moment which way to go, but that's okay. I make a decision, follow the path. I can always go down a different road next time. That's life. We're not going to know until hindsight. And then one way. Another favorite saying of mine is out is through. The only way I'm going to have any kind of payoff from all of this hard work. Oh, and I forgot my little, oh yeah, there's a few more things back here I forgot. The little fish bone, because this is gross. Just gross. We pulled on the ceiling this week and it was like, ugh, nasty. I'll get through it. The little camera, I don't like being on camera, but that's that. This is just part of the process. I don't want to capture the process, so I have to become comfortable with it enough. And then, oh yeah, the little tools back here. Because no matter what, it is a lot of work. But once this is all done, it's going to be behind me, and I'm probably not even going to care as much. I'll have romanticized all that work. Anyway, okay, so out is through. And then I got my little Flynn Rider guy here, who represents Hubs, who is not directing this show. Some days it's a shit show. He's not taking over, but he is very much supportive and is kind of like frying pans. Who knew, right? Kind of, yeah, letting me do this thing and helping me out along. So anyway, lots of thoughts, lots of feelings, but that's my brain on this in a nutshell.